there's often the phrase that young people should be seen and not heard, whereas I'm always of the opinion that young people should always be heard, because our voices are important in all conversations, because at the end of the day, we're not the leaders of the future, we're the people who have to lead us into the future.
Harry McCann, tell us about you.
Yeah, so I'm 22, I'm a student at University College Cork, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Harry, I know coding has been a huge importance in your life, particularly your younger life, possibly still. But I want to know where the interest in it began for you and the benefits that it's brought you.
Yeah, so coding was a huge part of growing up for me, I suppose, and it's kind of sparked that kind of entrepreneurial interest in me. My brother studied computer science in college, and when I kind of figured out what coding was about, I really got into it from a young age. It sparked a curiosity in me, the problem solving, the critical thinking. There's just so much to it, and I think it's what's guided me along all these years, even if I haven't been coding actively.
One of the things that you did, and you founded, was a digital youth council. So for people who haven't heard about that, what exactly was the reason for founding that, and what is its function?
Yeah, I think like a lot of students in school, I kind of felt that my voice wasn't heard as much as it should have been on problems that impacted my life. So digital is obviously a huge part of growing up now in Ireland, and I kind of felt that there was a lot of room there for young people to have a say in what was happening in technology and in STEM, so science, technology, engineering and maths. And I set up the Digital Youth Council to bring together some of the most talented young people in Ireland in STEM, and we have a lot of them. And we came together to try and influence policy change on things like data protection, online safety, and I suppose the future of education as well.
You're obviously a high achiever, and you've achieved so much in your young life and young career already. But I want to go back now to your secondary school days. And first of all, how did you find secondary school? Did you enjoy it? Did you do well?
Yeah, I think it seems like so long ago. It's funny because like I'm 22, my final year of college, and I suppose secondary school feels like a kind of a distant memory in a way, but it wasn't. And I enjoyed school a lot. I wouldn't have been a particularly high achiever, but I suppose I actually enjoyed the experience of getting to learn new things, obviously being with friends all the time, and the general experience was something I enjoyed. As I said, I wasn't going to finish with 600 points, but I was always trying to do as best as I could, and as I said, it worked out. I got to university in the end, but you know, it's something that if I had to go back, I actually probably would, and I don't think there's many people who'd say that, but yeah, I think I would.
What were the most important aspects of your schooling in general that you can see now that have actually come to fruition and proved very useful to you in your current career?
I think it's doing something that you love. So it might sound crazy, but I think a lot of people in school focus on picking subjects that are going to lead them into a course or lead them into a career, whereas I picked the subjects that I really enjoyed and wanted to learn more about. For me, that was hugely important because you have to spend so much time doing these things. You know, you have to spend so much time studying, preparing, writing essays, and doing what you need to do to complete the Leaving Cert. And it's the same thing in life with work. You know, I spend a lot of hours, early mornings, late nights working away, and I always do the things that I love because it's important to do that, and it makes it easier. You know, they say that you never work a day in your life if you do what you love, and it's the same with studying. You know, you'll enjoy the experience more if you actually like what you're learning. I'm a firm believer it all works out in the end, and I think that's really hard to see when you're in the middle of something like the Leaving Cert. It's intense, it's stressful at times, it's really busy, and I think it's very hard to look at it and go, geez, this is all going to work out in the end, but it does. You always end up getting where you want to go, and if you don't necessarily end up exactly where you wanted to go, it might be for the good. I found my plans in secondary school have changed dramatically to where I am now, but I'm very glad I am where I am now. So I think it's just kind of wait it out, work as hard as you possibly can, and just trust in the process and the idea that it'll all work out in the end.